20 days into the war, Iran is shaken, Israel is on the edge, and the region is changing fast. But here's the real story. What if India has to choose one of them? Will India choose Israel or Iran? Let's find out. Israel and Iran are two countries situated in the Middle East, and with them, India followed dialogue, peace, and diplomacy. A commitment of non alignment started by Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, where dialogue is the tool, peace is the goal, and diplomacy is the process. And in a world split by war, India doesn't choose sides, it chooses balance, driven by strategic autonomy and the need to secure its future. Even in this situation of war, India maintains strategic and friendly alliance with both nations. And that is one of the major reasons on why Finland PM suggested that India could mediate between this war. Till now, we have received positive gestures from both the sides. As tensions rise, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu openly attacked India and Prime Minister Modi, highlighting a partnership built not just on diplomacy but on trust, security, and shared strategic interest. Netanyahu stated PM Modi, a great friend of his, who is standing for Israel. On the other hand, Iran too made a positive gesture for India. While blocking the world's most critical oil route, Strait of Hormuz, for its enemies, Iran made a rare exception for India, China, and Russia, allowing them a safe passage through Strait of Hormuz. And that shows strategic trust can override even wartime divisions. Because India doesn't choose sides, India chooses its future. And this is our real strength. On the one hand, there is Iran, where we are building our strategic port, the Chabahar Port, where we are investing despite the US sanctions and focusing on the gateway to Central Asia. We are trading pharmaceuticals, organic chemicals, and agricultural products like basmati rice, tea, and sugar in our local currencies to bypass the US dollar. So instead, India chooses balance, a balance where even in times of war, relationships are not broken, they become more critical than ever. That's why, while the world is picking sides, India stands with both, guided not by pressure but by purpose. But today, this balance is being tested. For the first time in years, India's budget made no allocations for the Chabahar port, a project that was once called the gateway to Central Asia. Even the Irani foreign minister Abbas expressed his disappointment, expressing a signal that is even in strategic partnerships can feel the strain. So, what changed? India is not stepping back, India is recalibrating because now a new corridor is taking shape, the India Middle East Europe corridor, a route that connects to the Gulf, to the Israel, and all the way to the Europe. Faster, deeper, and backed by global powers, and this is something phenomenal and beneficial for the long term goals for India. This is not abandonment, this is adaptation from Chabahar to IMEC. India is shifting from the regional access to the global connectivity. And on the other side, there is Israel, powering India's defense, economy, and cybersecurity edge, leaving Iran with limited cooperation in these critical domains. In a world driven by security and technology, India knows where its strategic strength lies. And the fact that we are the largest arms buyer of Israel. And this clearly showcases that despite trying to maintain balance between Israel and Iran, we are tilted towards Israel. Our military equipments, our fighter jets are highly equipped and integrated with Israeli systems. Barak 8, Spider, Drishti UAVs. They are not just our weapon purchases, but they are our joint capabilities that shapes India's battlefield edge. And during the last year's Operation Sindoor, these systems proved one thing. India's strength today is built on strategic partnerships, and that power was on full display. However, Iran walks a careful line. It criticizes Pakistan for its terrorism, but it still maintains partnerships, and ties with it. On the other hand, there's Israel, which openly condemns Pakistan and supports India's sovereignty on Kashmir issue. And this is where the difference becomes clear. Israel is not just a partner, it's a force multiplier for India's defense and technology. Israel's stance on Kashmir issue and Pakistan becomes one of the major reasons why we will choose them over Iran. However, choosing Israel disrupts their power balance and it affects the India's global credibility. India is a country whose interests are highly influenced by the morality and ethics. And we all know what Israel is doing in Gaza, where Hamas, a terror group using civilians and kids as their shields, and Israel killing all of them mercilessly. And we all not should forget about that Hamas is also funded by Iran. So Iran regime is too responsible for those merciless killing. A regime which killed even their own civilians in the protest. So all this happening right now in the world, India will not choose sides, India will choose its future. In the end, I would like to add that in geopolitics, sometimes a nation must walk between two wrongs. Not to justify them, but to protect what is right within its own borders.